Before you inspect the vehicle, make sure that the parking brakes are on and that the wheels are chocked. If you have to tilt the cab, secure loose items so they won't fall. 1. Review the last vehicle inspection report. Drivers may have to make a vehicle inspection report each day. The motor carrier must repair any items that affect safety. The motor carrier must certify on the report that the repairs were made or that they were unnecessary. 2. Check the engine compartment. This includes checking the engine oil level, coolant level in radiator, condition of hoses, power steering fluid, the power steering hose condition, windshield washer fluid level, the battery fluid level, connections and tie downs, automatic transmission fluid. You may have to start the engine to do this. Also, make sure you check all the belts for tightness and wear, including the alternator belt, water pump, and air compressor. Look for leaks in the engine compartment, like fuel, coolant, oil, power steering fluid, hydraulic fluid, or battery fluid. 3. Start the engine and inspect inside the cab. Check the gauges. Oil pressure should come up to normal within seconds after the engine is started. Ammeter and/or voltmeter, coolant temperature, engine oil temperature, warning lights and buzzers should go out right away. Check the controls for looseness, sticking, damage, or improper setting. This includes checking the steering wheel, clutch, accelerator, brake controls, foot brake, trailer brake, parking brake, retarder controls, transmission controls, inner axle differential lock, horns, windshield wiper and washer, and lights, including the headlights, dimmer switch, turn signals, four-way flashers, and clearance identification marker light switches. Check the mirrors and windshield. Look for cracks, dirt, illegal stickers, or other obstructions. Check the emergency equipment. Working fire extinguisher, spare electrical fuses, and 3 reflective triangles. Number 4. Turn off the engine and check the lights and four-way flashers. Number 5. Make a walk-around inspection. Check that all lights are working. Check the left front side, driver's door glass, door latches, left front wheel, left front suspension, and left front brake. Front axle steering system, windshield, lights and reflectors. Right side. Right front, check the same items as checked for left front. Right fuel tanks, condition of visible parts at the rear of the engine. Transmission, exhaust system, frame, and cross members. Air lines and electrical wiring secured against snagging, rubbing, and wearing. Spare tire carrier or rack. Make sure the spare tire wheel is securely mounted in the rack. Check the spare tire and wheel itself for proper size and proper inflation. Check cargo securement for trucks. The cargo should be properly blocked, braced, tied, and chained. Is the header board adequate and secure? Make sure the sideboards and stakes are strong enough, free of damage, and properly set in place. Make sure the canvas or tarp, if required, are properly secured to prevent tearing, billowing, or blocking of mirrors. If vehicle is oversized, check that all required signs, like flags, lamps, and reflectors, are safely and properly mounted and that you have all required permits. Check that all curbside cargo compartment doors are securely closed, latched or locked, and that required security seals are in place. Check the right rear of the truck. Wheels and rims, tires, suspension, brakes, lights, and reflectors. In the rear, check the lights and reflectors, license plate, splash guards, and ensure proper cargo securement. On the left side, check all items that you checked on the right side, but also check batteries if they are not mounted in the engine compartment. Step 6. Check the signal lights. Step 7. Start the engine and check the brake system. Checking hydraulic brakes. If the vehicle has hydraulic brakes, pump the brake pedal 3 times. Apply firm pressure to the pedal and hold for 5 seconds. The pedal should not move. If it does, there may be a leak or other problem. Get it fixed before driving. Checking air brakes. If the vehicle has air brakes, build the air pressure to between 100 and 120 psi. Turn off the engine, release all brakes. Press hard on the foot brake and hold down for 1 minute. On combination vehicles, air pressure should not drop over 4 psi. On single vehicles, air pressure should not drop over 3 psi. turn ignition on. With the foot brake, pump the air pressure down. At about 60 psi, the low air buzzer should sound. On older vehicles, a wigwam arm will fall in view of the driver. Keep pumping air down with the foot brake. At about 40 psi, the tractor parking brake knob and the trailer parking brake knob should pop out. Checking the parking brakes. First, set the parking brake. Put the vehicle in low gear and gently release the clutch until you feel the tractor pulling against the brake. The vehicle should not move. If you are driving a bus, also check the passenger entry, seating, emergency exits, and baggage compartment. 8. If you are driving a tractor trailer, also check these items: air and electrical lines, the catwalk, all parts of the coupling system, like the fifth lower wheel plate, for example. You will not be able to see the lower plate if the vehicle is hooked up. Check the trailer front side and rear, including air and electrical connections, header board, and landing gear. Remember, semi-trailers cannot exceed a length of 53 feet. Vehicle Inspection Study Guide, Tractor Trailer. During the actual test, you will be expected to point to each of the parts of your vehicle, name the part, and explain what damage or problems you might find with it. The types of damage or problems are listed in the vehicle inspection section of this manual. Begin the inspection at Area 1 on the curb side or right side of the vehicle. Follow the numeric order I'm about to provide to the rear of the vehicle, ending in Area 18. Area 1, front of vehicle. Check the lights, the steering box, and the steering linkage. Area 2, the engine compartment. Check the oil level, coolant level, power steering fluid, water pump, alternator, air compressor, and check for any leaks. Area 3, front suspension. Check the spring, spring mount, and the shock absorber. Area 4, front wheel. Check the rim, hub oil seals, tires, and lug nuts. Area 5, front brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber, hoses, and the drum. Area 6, fuel area. Check the door, mirror, fuel tank, and check for any leaks. Area 7, rear wheels. Check the tire rims, aisle seals, lug nuts, and spacers. Area 8, rear suspension. Check the springs, spring mounts, torsion, and shocks. Area 9, rear brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber, hoses, and drum. Area 10, under the vehicle, rear of tractor. Check the drive shaft, exhaust system, and the frame. Area 11, only the tractor. Check the air and electrical lines, the catwalk, the coupling system, mounting bolts, safety latch, platform, release arm, kingpin and apron, and check the sliding fifth wheel. Area 12, front of the trailer. Check the air and electrical connections, the header board, and check the lights and reflectors. Area 13, side of trailer. Check the landing gear, check the lights and reflectors, check the doors, ties, and the frame. Area 14, wheels. Check the rims, tires, axle seals, lug nuts, and spacers. Area 15, suspension. Check the springs and the spring mounts. Area 16, brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber, hoses, and the drum. Area 17, the rear of the trailer. Check the lights, reflectors, doors, ties, splash guards, and the mounting bolts. Area 18, inside the cab. Check the clutch and gear shift, air pressure gauge, oil pressure builds, the ammeter and voltmeter, do the air brake check, check the steering play, the parking brake, the mirrors, windshield, wipers, lighting, indicators, horns, heaters and defroster, and check the safety and emergency equipment. Vehicle Inspection Study Guide, the straight truck and school bus. During the actual test, you will be expected to point to each of the parts of your vehicle, name the part, and explain what damage or problems you might find with it. The types of damage or problems are listed in the Vehicle Inspection section of this manual. Begin the inspection at Area 1 on the curb or right side of the vehicle. Follow the numeric order I'm about to provide to the rear of the vehicle, ending with Area 13. Area 1, front of vehicle. Check the lights, steering box, and steering linkage. Area 2, engine compartment. Check the oil level, coolant level, power steering fluid, water pump, alternator, air compressor, and check for any leaks. Area 3, front suspension. Check the spring, spring mount, and the shock absorber. Area 4, front wheel. Check the rims, hub oil seal, tires, and lug nuts. Area 5, front brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber hoses, and the drum. Area 6, driver and fuel area. Check the door, mirror, fuel tank, and check for any leaks. Area 7, under the vehicle. Check the drive shaft and exhaust system. Area 8, rear wheels. Check the tire, rims, axle seals, lug nuts, and spacers. Area 9, rear of vehicle. Check the lights, reflectors, signal, and brake lights. Area 10, rear suspension. Check the springs, spring mounts, torsion, and shocks. Area 11, rear brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber, hoses, and drum. Area 12, passenger items. Check the passenger entry, emergency exits, and passenger seating. Area 13, inside the vehicle. Check the clutch and gear shift, air pressure gauge, oil pressure builds, ammeter and voltmeter, and conduct the air brake check. Check the steering play, parking brake, mirrors, windshield wipers, lighting, indicators, horns, heaters and defroster, and check the safety and emergency equipment. Vehicle Inspection Study Guide, Coach or Transit Bus. During the actual test, you will be expected to point to each of the parts of your vehicle, name the part, and explain what damage or problems you might find with it. The types of damage or problems are listed in the Vehicle Inspection section of this manual. Begin the inspection at Area 1 on the curb or right side of the vehicle. Follow the numeric order I'm about to provide to the rear of the vehicle, ending with Area 15. Area 1, front of vehicle. Check the lights, steering box, and steering linkage. Area 2, driver and entry area. Check the window, door, and mirror. Area 3, front suspension. Check the spring, spring mount, and shock absorber. Area 4, front wheel. Check the rims, hub oil seal, tires, and lug nuts. Area 5, front brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber, hoses, and drum. Area 6, driver and fuel area. Check the door, mirror, fuel tank, and check for any leaks. Area 7, baggage compartments. Check the emergency equipment and that the doors are secure. Area 8, rear wheels. Check the tire, rims, axle seals, lug nuts, and spacers. Area 9, rear suspension. Check the springs, spring mounts, torsion, and shocks. Area 10, rear brakes. Check the slack adjuster, chamber hoses, and drum. Area 11, under vehicle. Check the drive shaft and the exhaust system. Area 12, the engine compartment. Check the oil level, coolant level, power steering fluid, water pump, alternator, air compressor, and check for any leaks. Area 13, rear of vehicle. Check the lights and reflectors, signal and brake lights, and check the splash guards. Area 14, inside the bus. Check the clutch and gear shift. Check the air pressure gauge. Check the oil pressure builds. Check the ammeter and voltmeter. Conduct the air brake check. Check the steering play. Check the parking brake. Check the mirrors, windshield, wipers. Check the lighting indicators. Check the horns. Check the heaters and defrosters. And check the safety and emergency equipment. Area 15, passenger items. Check the passenger entry, the emergency exits, and check the passenger seating.